In the first half of 2022, EHEDG broadcasted 5 EHEDG Connects online webinars. In case you missed them, here's a compilation of these 5 webinars. You can just put the number of your favorite webinar down in the comment section and we'll be happy to send you a download link to the full webinar recording. Enjoy! We start with number 1. This webinar focuses on establishing an effective cleaning validation practice and is conducted by Hui Zhang. She is the hygiene expert at Unilever Supply Chain Quality Center, and she's also the chair of the EHEDG Working Group Cleaning Validation. Here's a short snippet from that webinar.
The cleaning validation master plan. It is a structured approach to identify and explain the steps to complete the validation. Different cleaning technologies may have different importance of these 4 factors. So in that case, you may compensate with another factors like a little shorter time, less chemicals, or lower temperature, etc.
Webinar number 2 is all about hygienic design and sensor technology and is presented by Holger Schmidt, who is the industry manager food and beverage at Mettler Toledo, who also runs his own consultancy firm, and on top of that he's also the chair of the EHEDG Working Group Sensors. Here's a short part of that webinar.
Yeah, how can we propose for different applications as well, and in different areas of application, sensors that supply the best possible signal? How are they cleanable? Is that necessary to compromise between both? Like I just showed that inductive sensor, you need that signal. You can now try to move around and try to use a different technology. But if that inductive connectivity signal is giving you the best possible reading, then you need to find a way to integrate that in an optimum way.
Webinar number 3 offers a unique insight in the scientifically proven sustainability benefits of hygienic design and is presented by Rafael Soro, who is the hygienic engineering and food safety project manager at EHEDG company member AINIA, and who's also the co-chair of the EHEDG Working Group Training and Education. Here's the short bit from that.
So this is an official recognition from the EU that hygienic design can contribute positively to the savings in terms of water, savings in terms of wastewater generation, and so on. In this place here at the top of the dead leg are having such low mechanical action, we will have to compensate somehow. The savings rate is around 40% for cleaning this equipment. After, let's say 3 minutes or less, the amount of residue remaining, it was almost 0. And while with the conventional one, you needed almost 6 minutes to get this degree of residue removal.
Webinar number 4, how to optimize your decontamination effectiveness. Presented by Peter Littleton, the technical director at EHEDG company member Chris Tynes of Food Hygiene Limited. He shares 3 decades of practical experience working in and for the food industry. Here's a short bit from that EHEDG Connects online webinar.
In this final case study, this was a sandwich factory, which unfortunately is no longer with us, but it was one I spent quite a bit of time some years ago. And it was a classic example of too little space between production lines. So the lines were, the actual conveyor belts were jammed in very tightly together. And it was a desire to reduce that line changeover time that I mentioned earlier.
Webinar number 5 offers a unique insight in real industry of food safety short stories, as presented by Peter Overbosch, who is now retired but used to be Vice President Corporate Quality Assurance at Metro AG and is still affiliated with EHEDG as a member of the GFSI Hygienic Design Benchmarking Support Group. Here's a short bit from that webinar.
All kinds of things are treated there. Technical, procedural, communication and culture. We'll see a couple of these things there. And in the very first story that I'll mention, I think that you could argue that is where food safety culture originates from. But it's all over the map. And so if QA said, well, something has happened and I'm afraid we'll have to recall product, then there would immediately be an enormous discussion with operations who would argue that, well, it's not so bad and we don't have to recall and so on. at the back of their minds, of course, were the end of year bonuses.
That's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this compilation. If you are an hygienic design expert yourself and you work for an EHEDG company member, don't be shy, send us an email. Who knows, maybe you'll be represented in one of the future compilations. Thanks for watching. See you next time.